Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lindsay. If you're new here, hello. Welcome to my weird little space. So today we are going to be talking about how to hate the habit but still love yourself. Let's get right into it. I would like to first start off by saying what I think are two false or toxic ideologies. The first one is that having a bad habit or a bad behavior makes you a failure because of that action. Number two is you should love all of your flaws and shortcomings. One of the most frustrating things for me to observe about people is when they can't gain any progress because either one, they feel like such a failure because of their current state of habits that they just can't move past how they feel about themselves. And number two, they don't get any progress because they are so in love and embracing their toxic behaviors and their bad habits that they don't feel like there is any need to move. So let's start off with the main principle behind this piece, which is the person you are is separate from the things that you do. You could be a terrible person with amazing habits, and you could be an amazing person with terrible habits. The two are not mutually exclusive. Now, let's define a behavior or habit that is worth changing. We all have flaws, so what I'm talking about here cannot be reduced down to cellulite, okay? How do you know if a habit or behavior is negative? Its short-term or long-term repercussions will have an effect on your ability to live a healthy, happy, and productive life. And yes, you have to think really critically about this. This is not something that I can do for you. Next, you want to define the habit or behavior as being systemic or intrinsic. So a negative systemic habit is a root issue. It is the core of many other negative ripples. These systemic habits often relate to our savior functions massively overpowering our demon functions as it relates to typology, having a large imbalance between the things you're really good at and the things that you're not so good at. An example of this would be the desire to exclusively search and gather without executing on any items. So this is different than a negative intrinsic behavior. So a negative intrinsic behavior is a repercussion that stems from a systemic habit. This means that the behavior, while it is a problem, it is not the main issue. So why is it important to define the two? Well, it's easy to just use the Band-Aid approach to fix intrinsic behaviors versus fixing systemic habits. And while this works in the moment, it doesn't actually solve the problem. And as a result, will lead to continued similar problems down the road. So how do you figure this out for yourself? Ask yourself, what is motivating me to do this? So continue to ask yourself this until you get to a point where you're speaking beyond the situation itself. You actually want to define this in a more abstract sense. One of the rare times that happens. Example, asking yourself, why do I yell at the kids? Because they broke the plates and can't do a simple task. Ask yourself again. Because they make everything a mess and it's harder for me. Ask yourself again. Because it seems like the only way I feel like I can have control when in reality I doubt my ability to be a good parent. Boom, there you go. That's the systemic root of the problem. The systemic habit, self-doubt. So next step is to learn how to start hating your systemic habit while keeping in mind it has nothing to do with who you are. You are not your behavior. Listen, you have permission to get angry at the thing that could possibly kill you in 10 years. You're allowed to do that. That's okay. And it's actually probably anger in its healthiest form. Saying that you're going to, let's say, work on your diet, yet still being continually addicted to fast food drive-thrus while knowing how it's negatively impacting your health, that's an okay habit to be pissed as hell at. So do you really want to change the behavior? Do you really want to be angry at it to the extent that it repulses you? Oftentimes for people, knowing the repercussions simply isn't enough. So this is where we learn how to brainwash ourselves in the right direction. Find examples of your struggle in its worst, full-blown repercussive state. Google it and look into a glimpse of your future. Have problems spending too much money? Watch a few videos on people who are so entrenched in debt they feel like they literally have no way out and become homeless. Can't stop yelling at your kids and saying terrible things to them? Well, watch some videos or read some articles on people who did the same thing and as a result had their children taken away from them. Can't stop eating Mickey D's? Watch a video on someone getting a portion of their intestines removed because they are so impacted with undigested fast food excrement. True story, I know someone who it happened to. Still want to do the behavior? You haven't brainwashed yourself enough yet. Do you know who does this well? The vegans. While slaughterhouse videos don't work for everyone, the reality is millions of people, including myself, have changed their diets because of the realities of what happens within animal agriculture and having that become exposed to people. Hate them or love them, the reality and knowledge of that information has made a huge difference. But do you know what also works about this method is that it further separates you from this behavior. When you learn to hate a behavior as a thing, you release it from your own identity. And then don't forget to brainwash some love into yourself. Reiterate to yourself that you are not your successes and your failures. You are not what you can or can't do. You are a summary of all that you are in the inside and out. One reason I can seemingly be so hard on people is because I actually do believe in them and their abilities. Okay, listen to me. You are a human with a brain and thumbs. That puts you ahead in a lot of ways. You are very capable of figuring things out if you want to. I believe in you and your ability to do the thing eventually. All right, guys, that's it for this video. The blog post on it will be linked below. What kind of things are you trying to do? What kind of habits are you trying to get past? Let me know down in the comments below. We'll keep that conversation rolling. I'll try to help you if I can. If not, I will let you know that too. And yeah, like and subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you in my next video. Bye.